Stanley Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Hannah Rankin. Hannah, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad you can hear me well at this point
Yeah,
after the struggles with the eardrum. But you don't look
yeah.
particularly bashed up or anything. I was worried you might, but you don't look too bad.
I had a few things to do today, so the wonders of makeup are definitely there to help us out. The girls have a good advantage with that one, I must admit.
Yeah, I suppose it helps. Um, we're kind of making light of it, but obviously it didn't go your way last week against Savannah Marshall. You were full of confidence going into the fight. I don't think you could have tried any more. There was no lack of effort or fitness in preparation, anything like that. You tried to change it up as well to kind of make
Yeah.
inroads into the fight. Is it just one of those where you have to say at this stage on the night she was too good?
I think, to be perfectly honest, like I gave it, like you said, I gave it everything I could in the fight. She was just much bigger than me on the night. Wasn't I don't know, like in my head, she wasn't going to be as maybe like filled out as much as that, but she definitely filled out quite a lot. And you can definitely notice quite a big size difference. But I felt that I was doing really well in the beginning rounds of the fight. It was going nice, and then unfortunately, I did actually burst my eardrum in the third round. I think fourth round maybe. I'm not quite sure which one it was. But yeah, no, and she definitely, not to get anything away from Savannah, she boxed amazingly well, and she's very strong at the weight. So yeah, no, congratulations to her and the team for getting the win. But yeah, she was just too big for me on the night.
Did you think she noticed when the eardrum went and kind of tried to capitalise on it, or was it more that reflected in your performance and that you weren't able to get off as well as you had previously?
Yeah, I think like I felt in the fight that my because in the first couple of rounds my head movement was good, or sharp, was boxing nicely, good upper body movement, everything, and then I felt like after that my balance was a little bit off, so I wasn't moving my head as much, so I was there to get hit a lot more. So yeah, bit disappointed with that really, because I was quite frustrated afterwards. But yeah, no, I think she boxed really well, and it was a fantastic performance from her. So no complaints on my part. My goal is to go down to 147 or 154 next year and come back at a weight class which is more suited to me.
Yeah, it did look like a middleweight against a welterweight when you squared up at the start of the fight. To be fair, how did that reflect in the performance in the fight itself? So was it more that she was strong in the clinches? Was it the range as well? Because she's obviously got quite long arms.
Yeah, definitely. Like I would say, she's a really rangy fighter. There's quite a lot of distance to cover before you actually get into play. So yeah, I think in the first couple of rounds, I was managing to get distance quite well. I was getting inside, constant movement, throwing my shots. But yeah, no, you just like when we were in the clinches, she was quite strong, and just a lot taller and like more awkward to try and get in and get my work done. So yeah, it was just a size thing really for me, and yeah, couldn't do anything about it.
I mean, do you take any consolation via kind of going out on your shield? I think everyone would say that watching the fight, you did give it everything you had, and although it didn't go your way, it wasn't through lack of trying.
No, definitely, and I feel like I couldn't have given it any more in the fight, and I think that's probably something you if you're gonna not win a fight, then you want to at least come out of it and think that you gave it everything and best that you could have done. So I mean, so that's a small consolation, but obviously very disappointing because nobody takes a fight unless they think they're going to win it. In my opinion, you shouldn't sign up for a fight unless you definitely believe you're going to win. So yeah, no, I obviously was very disappointed, but also yeah, like I said, congrats to Savannah on the win.
I mean, previous defeats on your record have come against world-class fighters, Claressa Shields, Alicia Napoleon, Patricia Burgle, and that was close, of course, anyway.
Yeah.
Do you, where do you rate Savannah Marshall against that caliber of opposition that you've been in with?
No, I think she's definitely up there for 100%. And I think, like, apart from the Bergolt fight, which is a controversial one, I feel that I've only lost to people of in the higher weight classes, middleweight, super middle. So I think that kind of showcases where I really belong a little bit in the lower weights. But yeah, no, I definitely rank Savannah up there with them, and I think she's got some really exciting fights on the horizon for her.
And one of those we're all hoping, I guess, now is against her old amateur rival, Clarissa Shields, your friend, former opponent, stablemate now.
Yeah.
How do you kind of weigh that one up? Because they both seem keen on it from the social media posts after the fight. It's been talked about for a long time. So Clarissa obviously predicted you'd win the fight against Savannah, so she didn't expect to. But now she's the mandatory to go back in for her old belt. Do you like that fight?
I think it's going to be a really exciting fight for the fans. Like there's going to be a great build up. It's going to be really exciting. And on the night, two absolute top level world class fighters coming together in the middleweight division. And I think people are going to have a great fight to watch. And those two are going to go at it hammer and tongs. I know that. So I think it's going to be a really good one to watch.
That's very diplomatic of you. But Clarissa is your friend, as we've said, and backed you going into the fight. Would you also be backing her? I mean, she's got a much greater top-level experience as a pro.
Absolutely. She's a very good friend of mine, and we're stablemates and things. So I think that, obviously I will be backing my friend in that fight 100%. I think it's going to be exciting because they've got two kind of very different styles. So and having been in with both of them, I can obviously, there's different things that I can comment on, but I obviously won't be commenting on them just now. maybe when we get closer to fight night, I'll have more of an opinion on that. But they're two very different style fighters. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens when that fight plays out for sure.
And you still talked about going down to 154, 147. We've seen you're a world-class performer at 154. How easy or otherwise is it going to be for you to go down to 147?
So I've been speaking to my nutrition team about it. I work with Science in Sport, obviously, as most people know, and they're quite keen on the idea that I could make 147. So I'm going to continue to work with them on that, and I love the opportunity to get down there. It would be I'd be a massive advantage to me. I'd be very tall at the weight, and I'd be the tall person for a change. So I quite like it, and I've been below like 154 before, so for me, I think 147 is definitely doable, and it's an exciting possibility for me. So yeah, we're going to work on that in the new year. It just depends where the opportunities come up as well. 147, 154. It really does depend. But yeah, no, those are the weights that I'll be boxing at from now in the new year.
We know Clarissa wants to become undisputed at 154 to kind of match her achievements at 160. How do you assess the current world scene at 147?
Well, JD Max, the unified world champion at 147. Obviously, she's got the rematch with Cecilia Brackhouse. I think that's going to be an exciting fight because I actually don't think Cecilia boxed to her best in the fight with JD Max. So I think she's too experienced to go back into that and make her same mistakes again. So in my opinion, I think we probably will see her coming out on top in the rematch. But you never know with JD Max. She's got a lot of fire in her belly, so I'm sure that she'll be bringing it on the night. And then I don't know what Cecilia's plans will be from there. There's obviously people at the European level and Commonwealth level as well. So it's an interesting weight class to go into, but I don't see Cecilia reigning there forever. And if JD Max there, then obviously that's a great fight. I would love to fight her for any of those belts. So yeah, there's lots of opportunities.
It seems like you're on a mission to fight the best female pound-for-pound fighters of your generation, Shields, Brackus. Hopefully you can't get down low enough to fight Katie Taylor, I'd imagine.
No, I'd have to probably chop off my leg to reach that weight, to be perfectly honest.
No one wants you to do that. You've sacrificed enough for boxing so far, I don't think. Yeah. Amputation's not the answer.
No.
But it'll be great to see you down there. Like you said, you having the size advantages for a change. I mean, one thing I did want to ask, do you feel now that you've been in with these top operators, it hasn't always gone your way, but do you think you're growing with each experience regardless of the results?
Absolutely. I really feel like in this fight with Savannah, in the first 2 or 3 rounds, I was really showing some of my boxing skills have really improved because I think she said in an interview afterwards that she wasn't expecting me to come out and box. She was expecting me to come out and war her. So I think I caught her off guard a little bit. And every time I get in the ring, I level up in my abilities and skills. So I think each time I go in and against like top operators like that, then I definitely develop as a fighter and you learn a lot from them. And I just I'm continually getting better at what I do. So I'm excited to see where it's going to go next and what it grows into.
And just to clarify, this seems to be a bit of a thing on social media. You were announced as being from Glasgow, but you're originally from, is it Luss or Luce?
Luss, yeah.
Luss, the village there. So are you based in Glasgow? Is that why you were announced from there?
So I lived in Glasgow for quite a few years when I studied there. So it's what we put down as Glasgow. But my home is in Luss. Like my dad's farm's in Luss. So yeah, that's where I go home to. But I spend a lot of time in Glasgow. It's like the main city, kind of close to where I am.
Okay, I just wanted to say I'm not trying to throw David Diamante under the bus, by the way. I think Box Rec have got it as Glasgow as residence or whatever. So that's why. Good stuff. Well, I'm glad we cleared that up. Like the least important thing about this conversation, but still, let's
Yeah,
get it
no.
right for the record keepers out there.
It's good to give Luss a shout out. It's an absolutely tiny village in Scotland, so yeah, they'll be really proud of that.
You must be the most famous person there, then.
Potentially, yeah.
Well, there you go. That's something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Claim to fame. I love it. Great stuff. Well, look forward to seeing you back in action in the new year.
Yeah.
And let us know what your plans are. And obviously, we'll get another interview in before that takes place.
I will do. Thanks very much, Danny. Cheers.
Anytime. Take care.
Yeah, you too.